Okay, let's continue with our lesson. So now we'll be speaking about the compound in the early years. So how compounds were looking like in those early years when people started to work in the mining fields. When diamond mining companies were formed at 1876, the black workers of a company were housed separately in a company compound away from the white diggers' accommodation. So it means in the mining, in the diamond mining, both the black and white people were working in the mine, but they were not housed in the same compound. So these two groups of people, the black people and the white people, were not staying in the same compound. That is why we say they were housed separately. So it means there was a compound for black workers and also a compound for white workers. So those two groups were not allowed to stay in the same compound. They were housed separately. Conditions in the compound were shocking. Shocking, we're referring to unbearable condition, a condition where people are not allowed to live in. So that is why we say it was shocking. So it was unbearable. And workers died of pneumonia in the cold winter. Pneumonia is like fever or flu. So if you get excessive cold in your body, then you will have pneumonia. So those people got pneumonia in the cold winter because they did not have enough food and warm shelter. So it means these compounds were not warm enough for people to stay in. That is why people were getting sick in those hostels. And also food, they didn't get enough food. Closed compound. In 1885, the mining companies decided to use the closed compound for all black workers in the mines. Closed compound were situated in the mining site. A closed compound is a compound where people were not allowed to move around. So it means if you're working or you're staying in the compound, for example, in the morning you wake up from the compound, you go to work in the mining, then at the end of the day you come back to the compound. You were not allowed to go around, you were not allowed to go shopping, you're not allowed to go to see your friends. Company owners realized that it is in their own interest to improve the lives of their workers if they wanted to increase the productivity of their workers. So the mine owners have realized that in order for the miners to mine more gold or more diamond, they need to be taken care of. So that is why we say they have to improve the lives of their workers. Improving the lives, they have to build a better compound for them. Remember, their compound was shocking. It was cold in the compound. They didn't have enough food. So these company owners or these mine owners have to improve those conditions. Those compounds need to be better. They need to get a better food. They need to get a better place to stay, so that they will be able to work to produce more diamond or to mine more diamond. They also wanted to have control of the workers to stop illicit diamond buying. So they wanted to control the workers from the compound to the mining, also from the mining to the compound, so that those miners, they won't steal the diamond. So illicit diamond buying is the illegal buying of diamond. So they didn't want the workers to steal the diamond and sell them illegally. Workers were searched at the end of their contract. Workers were searched. So it means when the contract had ended, the workers were not allowed to go home immediately. They had to stay in the hostels about 8 days, so that they will be searched thoroughly. They were also given laxative to make their stomach work. A laxative is a form of medication that will make you to have diarrhea, so that you can go to bathroom frequently, they will be able to look in your pools or in your feces whether there are no diamonds. They had to wear thick gloves so that they won't be able to pick a diamond easily. Thick gloves, those gloves were similar to the boxing gloves. You can see how thick is a boxing glove. So those people were given those thick gloves to wear so that they won't be able to pick a diamond to swallow it. Example of closed compound. Let's look at the first picture here. So this is the example of the compound or closed compound. You can see that this area has a big fence or that has surrounded the compound. So also the compound, this building looks like there are no windows. Even the walls are very high. No one can climb over these walls. Inside the compound, there were no privacy. It means you cannot invite your friends. So situation was unbearable. So you can see those people where they are staying, this condition is not right for people to live in. So that is why we say the compound were shocking. The condition was unbearable. There were no privacy in the closed compound. Unit 2, further land dispossession and defeat of African kingdoms, the Xhosa in 1878, Bedi and Zulu in 1879. The British wanted to strengthen their position in South Africa after the discovery of diamond. So when the British came to South Africa to control the mining or the diamond mining, they wanted to strengthen their position. It means they wanted to be better than the African people. Rich people in Britain wanted to invest money in the diamond mining. So to invest is to put money in a business so that you can generate more money or you can have interest. And they put pressure on the British authority in Southern Africa to control the diamond area. So it means they were British people. The British people from Britain, remember, they came to Africa or came to Southern Africa to take over the mining. So the British authority in South Africa controlled the diamond mining. So it means those three kingdoms, those three African kingdoms, the Xhosa, Bedi and Zulus, were no longer controlling the diamonds mining. So it was in the British who were controlling those diamonds mining. In order to strengthen the position, they would have to dispossess the remaining African kingdom. To dispossess is to take over somebody's property or take over somebody's land. So in this case, the British people have took the African kingdom's land. Remember, the African kingdoms were referring to the Xhosa, the Bedi and the Zulus. So the British have possessed or dispossessed the land from those African kingdom. The Boers were looking for more land and labor. More land to mine the diamond, labor, people who can work in the mines. By 1870, the Xhosa, Bedi, Zulu kingdom were still independent. So independent, it means they were still in control of their land, including the mining area. And the Boers were not strong enough to defeat the Africans. So the Boers were not strong to defeat. Even if they fight with this African kingdom, they were not able to defeat them. So they encouraged the British to conquer those kingdoms. They encouraged the British people to fight the African kingdom and defeated them. If Africans were defeated, they will be forced to work for British people. So when British people were fighting with the African people, they have defeated them. So it means they will also take over their mining area. Then the Africans had or were forced to work for the British. So the best part is that these people, the African people, were getting paid. So it doesn't mean they were turned into slaves. No, they were getting paid. After long and bitter wars of resistance is when you try, or when you don't want people to take over your area or your land, you resist. It's either you fight with them or you tell them no, you don't want. So it's to resist. The Xhosa were finally defeated in 1878. So it means in 1878, or before 1878, the British people fought with the Xhosa and defeated them in 1878. So also with the Bedis and the Zulus were also defeated in 1879. So it means here the British people had control over those mining areas. So that is the end of our lesson. Then we have homework, activity 1 on page 143. You only write question 1 to 6. You leave out 7 and 8. Then activity 2, page 144. You write question 1, 2, 3A, B, and C. I hope you have understood the lesson. So we'll continue with another lesson tomorrow.